Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'll be sharing a story with you. Our movie begins in the year 1993. This child with a deformed foot can be seen struggling to walk up the road with his mom while blindfolded. He falls and almost takes off that blindfold, but his mom doesn't let him, and the two continue their journey. In his home while he's eating, his estranged father breaks in and starts attacking the boy's mom. He begs his wife to abandon the boy and come back with him. After his wife refuses that, he forces her to follow him by dragging her out, hoping to take her away from their son. But at this moment, the child takes off his blindfold and starts staring into his father's eyes. He mind controls him to walk away and eliminate himself out in the streets. Kid's got some serious issues. Upon seeing that, his mother, upset and overwhelmed, tries to take her child's life. However, he controls her as well, almost making her snap her neck, but he spares her and runs away. Now, 20 years later, the boy from earlier is a grown man, controlling a group of people in a bank. He's making everyone put their cash in a bag and controls a man to pass it to him. He takes that bag and walks away, leaving people panicked and confused. Then the man goes to a park, where a huge yard sale's happening. He flips through a comic from his childhood, and as he's reading, he sees his mom refusing her daughter some toys. Suddenly, he freezes everyone in the park and makes the mother buy the toys for the girls. As he roams around, he sees a mover transporting some boxes, and he tries to freeze him too, but is shocked to learn that that mover is somehow unaffected by his powers. The mover, Shuichi, continues his day and starts moving furniture into an apartment with his two co-workers. One of his co-workers, Jun, develops a crush on the homeowner. Looks like someone's thirsty. While the other one, Akira, looks through the collection of rare playing cards. As they finish up their day outside, the man tries to mind control him, but only Shuichi's co-workers get affected and not Shuichi. This makes the man worried, but just then Shuichi accidentally gets hit by a car. Later on, at home, after the man takes a shower, he puts on a prosthetic foot. We learn that his messed up leg was removed. He then looks out to an office and tests his powers, making sure everyone inside snaps their necks but stops just in time. Maybe you should look into Netflix's offices. Teach him a thing about those new restrictions they're thinking about. So the next day, Shuichi wakes up in a hospital with Jun and Akira by his side. They tell him that he's been fired, but then brings him some good news. They tell him that the guy who hit him is a CEO of a company, and he'll probably give him a large sum of money as compensation. So 3 days later, Shuichi goes to find this CEO, but when he arrives, he realizes that this rich man is just an owner of a small guitar repair shop and is very poor. The owner's daughter then offers him their savings as compensation for the accident, but he takes pity on him and asks for a job instead for his compensation. Later on, while working at the shop, Shuichi bonds with the owner's daughter, Kane, over their shared love of maps, and she gives him a book she's working on to read. Who knew maps could be chick magnets? Now, one day outside the shop, the man discovers that Shuichi is alive and still unaffected to his powers. Now, during dinner with the owner and Kane, Shuichi tells him about a childhood car crash where his parents and brother had passed away, but he miraculously survived. Just then, Jun and Akira show up and surprise him. They settle down and have cake, while Akira helps the shop owner record videos on an iPad. However, that happy evening soon comes to a stop when a man shows up, freezing everybody but Shuichi. He makes Akira and Jun attack this dude, but he pushes him away and pins the man down. Unable to get away, the man makes Kane stab Shuichi. However, Shuichi manages to knock him down and demand some answers. So the man once again controls Kane and makes her push her father out the window. This distracts Shuichi and he gets tased. The man then escapes. So at the hospital, Shuichi's surprisingly recovering quick from his injuries, but finds out the owner had passed away. The police interview him, and he tells them about this mysterious man and his ability to control people. He doesn't tell them about the part where Kane had pushed her father down and lies, saying that the old man had took his own life under the control of the other man. So now the next day, as Shuichi's mourning over the owner, he realizes that the iPad was still recording when that man showed up. That's some crazy battery life. You see, that's where Apple has Android beat. He shows Akira and Jun the whole incident through the recorded footage and asks Akira to edit out the part that implicates Kane. Now at this moment, Shuichi sees the man outside, and the two come face to face, and the man, frustrated in not being able to control Shuichi, sets two pro fighters to attack him. Unable to fight this, he quickly gets back inside the shop. As he's holding the door closed, he tells his friends to quickly hide, Both of them get out on this ledge outside the window, while the two men controlled by the man barge in and ransack the office, trying to find Shuichi. Now once they do, they attack him, grabbing him by the arms. But luckily he manages to kick some debris into that man's face. This causes the mind control to just stop temporarily. Using that opportunity, Shuichi pushes the two men in a closet while that man runs away. He's chasing him down into a tunnel, so the man makes 3 construction workers attack Shuichi, but a car's headlights blind him, temporarily stopping his powers again. Shuichi then realizes the man can't use the powers when he's blinded, so he tries using a stand light to stop him. However, the man manages to manipulate the construction workers once again and they attack him. Just before the workers end Shuichi's life, the detective from earlier calls him. The man goes to destroy the phone, but as he's distracted, Shuichi attacks him, leaving him unconscious. Shuichi takes him to the police station with the video proof, but the man manages to manipulate everybody here and they start shooting at him. He soon corners Shuichi and tries to eliminate him, but is unable to pull the trigger. Shuichi takes this chance and turns off the lights. Now in the dark, the man can't use his power, so he quickly escapes as the police regain consciousness. The officer frees Shuichi and he quickly chases the man to the city square. Now here, the man's controlling everyone in the area, sending him to stop our boy. And as he does it, it's revealed that the man's powers weaken the more he uses it, as a black virus spreads on his finger. Unable to hold Shuichi any longer, he makes a woman throw her baby off a railing. What? Shuichi jumps and saves the baby, using his body as a shield when they land. Nice. Some others who are mind-controlled throw a concrete plant down. Shuichi then puts the baby safely aside and takes the hit. The man sees this and leaves with accomplishment. Later at the police station, the detectives review that footage and realize that both Shuichi and the man are superhumans. One has the ability to regenerate, while the other can control others with his sight. So to find him, the police put an arrest for both of them on the news. The police soon track the man to his apartment, where he controls them and makes all of them take each other out. Meanwhile, Shuichi wakes up from his injuries. Elsewhere, Kanae is approached by the man's now older mother, who's asking her to tell Shuichi to contact her. Kanae then heads home and is shocked to find Shuichi asleep on the floor with the iPad. As she puts a blanket on him, she discovers the original video. Shuichi wakes up to find her watching that video, pushing her father out the window. He takes the iPad away, but it's already too late. She begins sobbing, and he comforts her, swearing to protect her at all costs. Meanwhile, the man goes to visit his mom. The police catch him there, but he mind controls him to stay still. He also freezes his mom and starts resenting her for giving birth to him. So he tries to shoot her, but breaks down in tears and hugs her instead. The man then gets a call, and it's Shuichi on the other end. He's shocked to learn that his rival isn't gone and asks how he survived. Shuichi tells him the only reason for him being here is to pretty much stop him and hangs up the phone. The next morning, a detective finds Kanae and informs her that Shuichi's in danger. Together, they find Jun and Akira, hoping to find Shuichi, but they're no help. Just then, the detective gets a report of a commotion in the main city, so they go there. Now at the city, Shuichi arrives at an opera theater, where everyone inside is just looking at him. The man starts taking Shuichi through the people around. The man hiding at the balcony makes these people jump from the higher level down, literally dropping these people like dominoes. But just then, the detective arrives and stops him. However, the man uses a reflection off the detective's eyes and makes him jump off the balcony just as Shuichi finds him. Shuichi then sees Kanae picking up the cop's gun and quickly races downstairs. Shuichi's literally doing cardio at this point. As the man attempts to escape, Kanae confronts him, but just then, he sees Shuichi heading towards him, so he makes everyone attack him and leaves with Kanae as hostage. As they're leaving, he gets blinded by the police outside. They surround the man and bring him to his knees before realizing he's an imposter. The man who's hiding around the corner controls the police from afar, pointing their guns at each other. But at this moment, Shuichi makes his way out, rushing towards the man. He gets a hold of him, but the man shoots him in the leg, and it controls Kanae walking up a spiraling staircase. Shuichi limps his way towards her. The man follows him, and finally makes Kanae lean over the railing. Shuichi begs him to stop, and the girl falls to the ground. The man walks over to Shuichi, hoping to end his life, but he falls down, becoming too weak after using his powers for so long. As he's fallen, the childhood comic book falls out too, and Shuichi sees his name inside it. The man tries to take the book back, but he loses his balance and falls. Shuichi grabs him in time, but the two fall down in the end, and days later, a detective can be seen visiting the man in a high-security facility, wearing a straitjacket and a leather blindfold. She tells him that Shuichi had used his body to save him from the fall. The movie ends with him shedding a tear and Shuichi sitting at a park reading his comic. Once again, glad to have you here. Thank you so much for watching.